this is a short review on the Tascam US-200 audio interface. It's only been out a month. I've had it about 2 weeks. It's been fine so far. I'll just run through a few specifications with you. It's a 2-in 4-out USB 2 audio MIDI interface. Supports up to 96 kHz 24-bit audio resolution. 2 high-quality XLR microphone preamps with phantom power. Stereo RCA analog output. Analog direct monitor for 0 latency monitoring. It's bus powered through USB, so no wall wart is required, and it includes Cubase LE5 48-track recording software. I'll just go through the front and rear panel features with you. On the front you have a headphone output, which is a standard 6.35mm headphone, stereo headphone output. Master level control, mix control, 2 gain controls for your microphone stroke line ins, instrument ins, with signal LED and overload LEDs. You have a LED for the instrument input when it's selected, phantom power LED, USB link LED. On the rear of the panel you have 4 RCA unbalanced monitor outputs, MIDI in and out, USB connector, phantom power switch, stereo and mono switch, and of course your instrument stroke line input switch, which is selectable per input. This is the equipment we're going to be using today to test the Tascam US-200. This is the Edirol PCR 800. KRK Rocket 6 studio monitors, and a MXL 990 condenser microphone, which is phantom powered, which will be supplied by the US-200. Okay, this is the Tascam US-200 control panel. You've got settings for audio performance, highest latency, high latency, normal latency, low latency, and lowest latency. I leave it on normal, which is fine. Everything works fine in Cubase, which I'll show you later. You've got selectable outputs for your line out 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Sample width 24 bits, sample rate 44.1 kHz. Now you change this within Windows and it'll update once you reboot the computer. I'll leave it at 44.1 because that's fine for me. I'm using Windows 7 64-bit with no problems whatsoever. Latency in Cubase is fantastic and all other applications. I've had a few audio interfaces, Firewire and USB 1.1, and they've always been crackly, noisy, dropouts and everything. I've had this 2 weeks now, and luckily, not a problem, no problem whatsoever, and I think that's down to it being USB 2. I don't understand why manufacturers are still making USB 1.1 interfaces, because they've never worked properly, and for 140 quid for a USB 2 interface, I think it's a bargain. Anyway, I'm going to get into Cubase now and just show you the latency in Cubase, and I'll do a few samples via the MIDI with the PCR 800. Okay, this is Cubase 5, the device setup panel. As you can see, the SEO driver is the US-200. Input latency 5.896 milliseconds, output latency 24.104 milliseconds, sample rate 44.1. Now you've got to remember, I've got this on normal latency within the US-200 control panel. You can get it down as low as 2 milliseconds. Believe me, it works fine just on normal. I've got no problems at all with any latency issues. I'll just load a VST for you to show you the PCR 800 connected to the MIDI in on the US-200. And just show you how that works. 1 second. Let's go for the ARP 2600. Okay, let's just turn it down a bit. As you can see, there's no latency whatsoever. It's touch that key and it triggers. Absolutely fine. Let's just load another VST. We'll go for the Adonis. See how that sounds. fantastic, no latency whatsoever. MIDI in and out works absolutely fine. I can't fault it in Cubase at all. I can't fault it in any application really. I mean, as simple as Skype is, it works perfectly well in Skype as well. It recognises it as a microphone input. Obviously you're not going to buy something like that for that, but it is handy if you want to go and have a chat with your mates. For 140 quid, I really don't think you'll get a better value for money anywhere. Okay, just to sum up, sound quality, absolutely fantastic, as good as any interface I've had at 3 or 4 times the price. Latency, like I've said before, no problems whatsoever. Drivers, download them from Tascam, they work perfectly well, and it's the first version. I'm under Windows 7 64-bit, no problems whatsoever. It works flawlessly. I can't recommend it enough really. For the price you're going to pay and what you're getting, it's a real bargain. And with it being USB 2, you've got no worries about any data transmission problems, etc, 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 like the USB 1.1 devices. Out of 10, I'll give it 8, and the reason being I'll give it 8 out of 10 is because of the RCA unbalanced outputs. It would be nice if it had the normal quarter jack balanced outputs, but for the money you can't complain. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's my first video, so you'll just have to bear with me. Hopefully they'll get better. Thanks very much.